Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.
Hi everyone. Today we have with us Mr. Vishwanath Chaganti. He completed his MBA from Sikkim Manipal University of Health, Medical and Technological Sciences. He has 10 years of experience in AML-KYC domain and is currently working with Infineos as Deputy Money Laundering Reporting Officer. Hi sir.
Hi Anudita. Hello everyone.
So my first question to you is, what interested you in getting into the field of AML-KYC?
Right question and good question. Because the interest came for me because the auditing and accounting skill set that I have acquired during my tenure in accounting job of 14 years in multiple industries. So that gave me a basic interest into this AML career. But however, the experience of 14 years gave me an opportunity to get into HSBC AML audit executive. That's how my AML career started.
Sounds great, sir. You have come a long way.
Thank you.
Sir, AML KYC is currently confronting immense changes in terms of digitalization and evolving customer expectations. This brings both risk and opportunity. What's your opinion about it?
You are right. Digitization always brings both risk and opportunity. When it comes to opportunity, in my opinion, digitization process improves the accuracy and the customer experience to onboard them quickly. But at the same time, it also comes with a risk for organizations or financial institutions because of digitization. There is a non-face-to-face communication and relying on digital certifications or document upload. So, but because we will be the investigator or the banking staff may not be able to uh, conclude these documents upload the authenticity of the documents or there could be any morphing of the image or tampered documents such as. So these are all the risks. Yes, you are right. It brings both. At the same time, these risks can be mitigated by the financial institutions by implementing proper procedures and regulatory requirements by adhering to that. And also, this also comes with experience of the staff involved in onboarding this customer through digitalization.
Sounds interesting. So, sir, what's the biggest challenge for discovering and reporting money laundering and fraud in financial institutions?
Great question. In my experience and opinion, the biggest challenge for discovering and reporting money laundering is collection of the data because data is everything. So based on the data collected and extraction by the technology team, the data model validations, and then the setting up scenarios and thresholds by the AML team is an important area how to identify these red flags. So, in my opinion, yes, that's the biggest challenge.
All right, sir. So, what do you think are the key technologies or tools essential for the AML KYC department?
When we are speaking about technologies, this can be either in-house developed or outsourced vendor systems for sanction screening, for example, or AML transaction monitoring and KYC and CDD. So there are many outsourced vendor systems available in the market, such as like OICheck or SAS or Jumio, Siram. These are all technology vendors which they are developing the tools for this AML KYC department.
And sir, how is Bitcoin being treated under AML KYC regulations?
This is a very hot topic in the industry, Bitcoin. That's a great question. Thank you. To my understanding, Bitcoin is part of a crypto assets and virtual asset. So entities involved in virtual asset activities are, they call it as virtual asset service providers, to make sure that they have to collect or disclose certain data transferred between counterparties as a part of cryptocurrency transactions. And they have to apply the preventive measures described in FATF recommendations from 10 to 21. So there are several regulatory requirements in different countries with regard to crypto assets at this moment, because this is an evolving industry. Not many countries having cryptocurrency regulations. So currently, I'm located in Bahrain, which is a Middle East country, where we have already we have cryptocurrency regulations in place.
Okay, sir. So, what tools are used for transaction monitoring to raise red flags more effectively?
As we discussed earlier in the previous question, there are several. When it comes to technology, there are several vendor tools are available or in-house developed tools. Uh, but on the control measure, the know your customer, ongoing due diligence, and customer transaction behavior analysis are the key measures to use and to identify the red flags based on the industry or customer profile of the company. So to name few transaction monitoring tools, I can say like the SAS, which is already market leader, and Actimize, Fico Tone Beller are few to name it.
And so, what are the factors to perform successful AML transaction monitoring?
In my experience, there are several factors can contribute to success of AML transaction monitoring, but I can give you a few, such as because you have establishing the customer identification and you need to establish the purpose of transaction. This gives you a basic understanding of the customer where it says what is normal. So if we know what is normal, and then we can measure and see what is abnormal for a customer. So that is one of the important thing. And the risk assessment of the customer based on several risks such as country, product, customer, and delivery channel risks. Apart from that, we need to also have the risk categorization of customers to assess the level of monitoring to conduct, because the due diligence varies based on the risk level. Further, the important key element is employee training on the latest trends, typologies, and red flags of money laundering.
All right, sir. What is a sanction screening program and why do we need it?
Good question. This is one of the important area in AML KYC sanctions, especially in financial crime compliance. The sanction screening program is a program that consists of screening the customers, third parties, products, and transactions against domestic and international watch lists. Why do we do this? Because to make sure that the financial institution is not dealing with any sanctioned individual or entity across the world. Because dealing with those kind of blacklisted persons may attract penalties or regulatory fines. So to avoid this, every financial institution is now mandatorily checking their sanction screening watch lists.
And how to ensure that technology supports an effective sanction screening program?
That's one more added on question, and great question. Because every question consists of technology when we are talking. Definitely this, because sanction screening manually cannot be done and it is tedious process. Because going through the sanctions list in the Excel and doing the VLOOKUP or something, it's a very big process. So definitely technology helping companies to develop these sanction screening tools automatically without any manual intervention. So to ensure that technology supports an effective sanction screening program, the technology used in the program to be tested for all possible false positives before implementing and screening. Because there is a lot of chance for these sanction screening tools to alert to generate a false positives which consumes a lot of FTEs. That is the biggest cost for the financial institutions. So further, these results of the screening depends on the data fed into the sanction screening tool. So hence, the AML department or staff needs to coordinate with IT team and provide their inputs to drive the best results of this sanction screening technology used in the company. Because if you see subject matter experts in AML sanctions, they need to discuss with IT team on defining the logics to be implemented in a sanction screening tool. So, for example, they can use these algorithms or fuzzy logic by definition of these thresholds and such as phonetic and equivalence or non-equivalence and appropriate sanction screening rules. So this enables the team to reduce the percentage of false positives so that they can get quality alerts to review.
So, what are the factors that impact an individual's or company's risk profile so as to be under EDD?
Good question, and this actually needs a lot of answer, but I can give some of the factors which impacts the company's risk or profile of the company or individual. Classifying a customer under enhanced due diligence is based on the financial institution's risk appetite. However, there are few factors which I can give for now is, for example, non-face-to-face onboarding, which is digital onboarding, because you don't know or you are not sure who is that person unless you prove that. And then there are non-resident customers, because in some countries, non-resident customers by default are classified as under enhanced due diligence. And then entities with complex structures in their beneficial ownership involving holding companies or foreign institutions or institutions in tax havens and tax secrecy. So these are by default to be classified as enhanced due diligence. And there are other factors such as like residing in high-risk jurisdictions, customers, or with weak AML safety regulations. When there are the products which you offer to the customer, for example, if it is a correspondent banking, or you are offering products to high-risk industries such as money service business, so or any politically exposed person involved in any of the beneficial ownership of a legal entity, or your customer himself is a PEP or associate of PEP.
So, what do you think? Which skills and qualifications are essential to enter the AML KYC domain?
AML KYC domain, to enter into this field, I don't think you really need a qualification, but because once you get into, you need to have a knowledge. That knowledge you can acquire, we can acquire only through going through some certifications, because the subject matter experts provides this training, so they know that what we require. So in my opinion, certifications and qualifications in AML KYC obtained from renowned international training institutions such as like VSkills, ACAMS, ICA, and we need to keep updated ourselves with the latest trends in the industry in AML KYC. And there are nowadays with the pandemic, there are several institutions offering us on AML-KYC regularly, so that attending to those webinars will help us to improve our knowledge on the AML-KYC. The skills, if you talk about particularly, yes, definitely eye for detail is required, and we need to have analytical and research skills, and we also need to have narrative writing skills and critical thinking skills, because these are all important when you want to take a decision on an alert which we worked, whether it's a false positive or needs to be escalated to a next level. Further, I can say that knowledge of various industries such as to the vulnerabilities of AML.
So, what, according to you, are the common mistakes that are committed by new entrants in AML KYC operations?
This is a great question. I'm very glad you asked this question. So from my 10 years experience in banking industry in AML KYC department, I can come up with some of the, I have seen some of the mistakes committed by my trainees or from my experience, my team members. For example, not knowing where and when to stop the research because time constraint will be there when you are working on an alert or a case. So we need to understand time is limited and we need to know where to stop our research to find exact results. And there are some of the areas like discounting potential matches as a false positives instead of escalating it to next level for further investigation, and then incorrect or insufficient narratives or conclusions on the decision made to close or escalate an alert. There are some of the team members or trainees I can see the mistake committed is something like missing to attach relevant documents to the case to justify the decision made. And one of the important area is ignoring the feedback received from the QA team, because this is very important. You need to, when QA team provide you the feedback, you need to review that feedback, identify what the mistake you have done, and then go back and not to make the same mistake again. So learning is more important from the mistakes instead of just ignoring and going through the same mistake again and again. And there are a few others, and one of them is non-adherence to the policy or procedure or the guidelines provided to the investigators. So that's one of the area I can say.
And what advice would you like to offer for people who are looking at building a career in this field?
Um, okay, I am taking this question because not that I'm so well expert in providing this kind of advice, but from my 10 years experience, I can say that if you want to build a career in AML KYC domain, there are many areas where you can build, like for example, AML compliance technology or training and development is one area, or AML operations is another area. And if you want to become an advisor or consultant on AML KYC, that's one option. And there is one more area is like regulatory compliance. So there are multiple opportunities available in this field as said above, and one should opt based on their interest or which path they want to choose. The other advice I can provide is look out for the opportunities to learn and grow always, because you need to keep update always on the latest trends happening in the industry. That gives you more advantage when it comes to grabbing an opportunity. So I suggest reading the white papers, case studies, and articles from professional training institutions will be helpful. And moreover, you need to acquaint yourself with local and international AML KYC regulatory requirements which are relevant to your company operations. I suggest keep building a good professional network with AML KYC experts using your social media platforms or in-house company network programs. So because they will definitely useful in building your career, providing guidelines and career, showing the career path which is right for you.
This is it, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thanks, Anandita. Thanks for having me, and I really appreciate this because I want to just tell you a few things about V-Skills because in 2014, uh, I was appearing for an interview for assistant manager in HSBC, but I failed that interview. So, so then I asked my manager, what should I do? Then they said that you need to have a qualification because you are new to AML KYC domain and you don't have any qualification. So that time I was searching in Google and then I came up with these skills. So, and it was a turning point for me in my career to have this certification because the V-Skills AML KYC compliance officer certification helped me to become a floor worker in HSBC. That helped me to train around 100 new joiners in HSBC that time in the financial crime compliance operations. So, and that's the start of my journey, and I came a long way in the last 9 and 10 years, where I am here at this moment. So I really appreciate that skills coming back to me after so many years and saying that like we are recognizing you. Thank you very much. Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.